A fine example of what can be achieved restoring old terrazzo flooring. The work took place earlier this year in the kitchen of a church vestry in Penarth, where the floor dated back to the Victorian 1890s. Penarth is the wealthiest seaside resort in the Cardiff area, and the second largest town in the Vale of Glamorgan, next only to the nearby Barry. During the Victorian era, Penarth was a popular holiday destination, known nationally as the Garden by the Sea, and was often packed by visitors from the Midlands and the West Country. Along with the day trippers from the South Wales valleys, mostly arriving by train. Today, the town, with its traditional seafront, continues to be a regular summer holiday venue, but with fewer visitors. The client wanted a deep clean and shine finish. The floor had never been cleaned properly, and as you can imagine, it had a lot of footfall over the years, and it really needed doing professionally. I visited to look first, and carried out a small test clean to see how it would come up. Satisfied with this, they were happy to accept my quote, and we booked to return the following month. With the aid of a rotary floor buffer, I started the cleaning process with the application of a coarse 50 grit pad. The pad was run over the floor using a strong dilution of Tile Dr. Pro Clean for lubrication. Pro Cleaner is a concentrated, multi-purpose alkaline cleaner, which strips and degreases the floor. It is first left to dwell for 10 minutes or so, and then agitated with the machine. Applied with the pad, it cuts through old sealers, coatings, and of course ingrained dirt. This process generates a lot of soil, which is rinsed off with water and extracted with a wet vacuum. This was then followed by repeating the process with a 100 and then 200 grit pad. The area was given a thorough rinse with water and then dried as much as possible with the wet vacuum. Some repairs were then carried out at the edges of the terrazzo floor, which involved sympathetically filling with cement. Once this had hardened, the floor was treated to a burnish using finer grits of Tile Dr. burnishing pads ranging from 400, 800 and 1500 grits, rinsing and extracting with water after each one. After a final rinse, the floor was dried as much as possible with the wet vacuum and then left to dry off fully overnight. We would return the following day to carry out the sealing. The next day I was concerned the floor might not be dry enough, after using so much water to clean it previously, so before applying the sealer I checked the moisture levels with a damp meter. The readings were within tolerance. However, my next step was to give the terrazzo a further polish with a 3000 grit pad, which is applied dry so would further dry the floor and bring up the surface appearance. The last task was to seal the floor, and for this, we selected to use Tile Dr. Color Grow. This is a color-intensifying impregnating sealer which soaks into the pores of the stone and provide durable stain protection. This product will cope well with the needs of a kitchen, and is fully breathable, which is important when choosing a sealer for old floors which do not have a damp-proof membrane installed. 2 coats of Color Grow were applied to the terrazzo, allowing about 30 minutes drying time before applying the next. After the second coat had dried, the floor was treated to an application of Tile Dr. Shine Powder, which is buffed into the floor using the rotary machine to achieve a super durable and deep luster to the floor. The terrazzo responded very well to the treatment, and the sealers applied will ensure it keeps its appearance for many years to come.